Okay, welcome to the RFFL show with your host Mike Cock. We're going to be reviewing Week 10, the games on Week 10 in the RFFL. Should be an interesting week. We had some major upsets and some expected losses, and it's really becoming a tight race now, and the playoff picture is beginning to take shape. This is the last week of out-of-divisional games. The next 3 weeks, everybody will have their chance to play games within the division and make their legitimate playoff run. And basically, each team has their own playoff destiny in their hands. So, with that said, let's take a look at this week's matchups for Week 10. Okay, Kings at the Rain. Kings are -2 and a 7. Now, this should be an interesting game because these one-time old, very good friends have become a bit of rivals. They are, there's a lot of hate and a lot of animosity towards these two guys. I expect this game to be an extremely violent, and expect these two guys to go down and dirty and be violent, blood, bruises, and everything everywhere. But ironically enough, I guess there maybe still was some lingering feelings of friendship because it was the Kings that were the first team to trade with Rocky to keep him from going insane this season. And, anyway, my personal opinion, I think, like I said, John has a solid team, but however the Chicago Bears go, that's how his teams go. Rocky revamped team. I think he's got a lot of momentum, huge points for him this week, turn things around. Rain is just going to be way too heavy for the Kings to handle, and the Kings are going to fall to the Rain this week. And Shadows versus the Phantoms. Phantoms -1.7. Well, when I look at the lineup of these two contenders here, all I can think of is shadowboxing. I know that the Shadows are standing tall after their standoff victory against the hapless Jesters this week, and initially it looks like they have the advantage. But I think that the Phantoms might have something up their sleeve, so it should make this game very interesting, and it's kind of like going to be a dog chasing its own tail. And I think the winner of this is going to be the dog who decides first to stop chasing his own tail. And that's just the bottom line. Okay, next up is the 69ers -6.9, go figure, at Holshot. Pete Holshot got gunned down last week on a surprising upset, and who knows. I did get a chance to briefly try to speak with the 69er head coach, Don Hansen. He didn't have much to say, but he did reveal his game plan on how he plans on defeating the whole shot team. Oof, yeah. That remains to be seen. I don't think that whole shot will remain down long. I think they'll get back up and they'll be able to knock back the 69ers into a more favorable position. Okay, next up we got Sleepers -8.8 at the Champions. Well, last week the Sleepers woke up in a big way from their hibernation by upsetting the whole shot team, and I think it's going to be a brutal fight between the Sleepers and the Champions. And unfortunately for the Sleepers, I think they'll be put back to rest by the Champions this week. Okay, the Mystics at the Fighting Irish. The Mystics had their six-game win streak snapped last week at the hands of the Phantoms, so Coach Craker immediately pulled together his staff and decided to meditate, seeking the advice of his fantasy guru. And once the owner of the Fighting Irish, Coach Ian, found out this, he ran to his guru for advice, and I think whoever gets the better advice from their guru is going to win the game. Okay, and finally we've got the Jesters at the Brew Crew. Well, the Jesters almost pulled up an upset last week. Some very frustrated fans got a little violent at the game and had to be escorted out by force. This does not bode well for our hapless friends, the Jesters, who take on the Red Hot Brew Crew. I think the Brew Crew are going to party their way all over the Jesters. I think the Jesters are going to try to keep up with the big boys, but eventually it's just going to be too much, and they're going to run out of gas. And I think the season is getting to coach owner Fritchie, who I think is developing a drinking problem. And to find out more about this, we've actually got Coach Jake Fritchie, assistant coach Jake Fritchie, on the line with us right now. So to discuss a little bit about what's going on inside the Jesters camp. So we'd like to thank you, Jake, for taking the time out to speak with us. And how's everything going? It's good. Coach Jake, I wanted to ask you a quick question. How do you feel about being 0-9 on the season? What do you attribute it to? I said. Why do you think you went 0-9 so far? Why are you 0-9?
Well, first of all, there's a lot of there's two things I'm stuck between. Hold on, let me try this.
Do you think you'll make the playoffs this year?
No.
Oh, huh?
There's like no chance.
There's no chance, huh? So what?
9.
So what happened? What happened to you this season?
No idea. It's just it feels like Edge hasn't been doing good. Culpepper Sad wasn't doing good. Chad Johnson wasn't doing good at all. Like only our kicker was the only kicker and Callum were like the only people that were performing to what everyone thought they would be.
I see.
Everyone else seems to be underperforming. We just got Brady, but
do you plan?
Late plan.
Do you and your father plan on retiring after this season, after the debacle of a season you're having?
What? No.
No. You're gonna continue?
Yeah.
Do you think you're gonna win a game this year?
Has anyone ever gone the whole season without getting a win?
No, you're the only one. I think you're the only team that's gone 0-9 so far.
That's not right.
It's a tough season, kid.
Who are we facing next week, do you know? Do you have any idea who we're facing next week?
Do I have a what?
Do you have any idea who we're facing next week?
No, I don't. Yes, I do. You're playing the Brew Crew.
What's the record now?
Brew Crew is, I think, 5-4. Brew Crew is 5-3-1, and that's who you play this week. Okay, we want to thank you, our guest Jake Fritchie. We wish you all the best of luck this weekend, and maybe you'll win a game. Well, that's another week. Wraps up week 10 of the RFFL show. This is your host, Mike Cock, wishing all the teams good luck this season, and we'll see you here next week.